season and it's still warm outside, there aren't very many soups better than a gazpacho. But sometimes you need to add a little something to the presentation. So we like to make our gazpacho in tomato bowls. To get started, you begin with the number of tomatoes that's equal to the number of people you're serving. So here we're just making 2. We're gonna cut off the top half. The main thing to think about for this recipe is a 3-to-1 tomato to filling ratio. Then what you want to do is very carefully core it out from the inside, making sure not to create any holes in your tomato. You're going to try and hollow it out as much as possible. You can also use a spoon if you feel like that will give you better control. As you're doing this, you want to save the inside of your tomatoes because we're going to be using them for our soup. You do want to try and scoop out as much as possible without making the walls of the tomato too thin. Once you have your tomato bowls, the next part is the soup. You want to take all of the insides, and then you can even add an extra tomato to the proceedings if you would like. I think this is also a fun opportunity to use different colored tomatoes as well, and your bowls are potentially a different color than your soup. And then you want to blend your tomatoes with whatever ingredients you're using. I like to add the traditional cucumbers, bell pepper, and some garlic, as well as some leafy greens, which I think adds to the color. You also want to put olive oil in. I like to do about 1/4 cup for 2 tomatoes, and then a dash of sherry vinegar, as well as, if you like some heat, a little bit of cayenne pepper. You're also going to want to finish some salt. Then you're going to blend it all together. You can make it as smooth or as thick as you want. I tend to make it on the smoother side, but still with a few chunks. Now all you have to do to finish off is add your gazpacho to your tomato bowl, making sure that you don't spill anything over the sides. You can also add a garnish on top. This time of year, I think it's fun to add a little bit of roasted corn and then potentially some of the bell peppers that you had to begin. There you have it, the perfect gazpacho in its own tomato bowl.